Hey, what's up guys, TechTitan here and I'm back again with a brand new video. So before I begin, if you're new around here, make sure you leave a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It helps out really greatly and I appreciate everyone for supporting the channel. With that being said, today I'm going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G's camera. So I'm going to break this down to the camera specs, the camera design, the interface, image quality, low light performance, video quality, a selfie camera, and I'll kind of end it in a conclusion. So just stay with me and enjoy the video. Basically, the design this time around is very similar to pretty much any Samsung phone that's out right now, whether it's the A series or the S series. However, in my humble opinion, I feel like this camera is much better upgrade than the previous generation. So you get a triple camera setup with your main sensor being a 50 megapixel sensor. You also get a 12 megapixel at f2.2 aperture that does have 123 degrees of wide angle view, and you also have a 5 megapixel f2.4 macro sensor, and by the way the main sensor is at f1.8 aperture, and you also have optical image stabilization, which is nice. We've seen that in a previous generation. The video capability, this phone can shoot video up to 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 30 or 60, and it also has 32 megapixel front-facing camera that is capable of shooting 4K video. So the camera doesn't protrude as much, which is nice. It still protrudes, don't get me wrong, but it's not as much as the Galaxy A54 from last year's generation. As far as the interface, it's a familiar interface that is quick at taking pictures, very intuitive, very user-friendly, so I really didn't have much of problems with the interface itself. It takes pictures really quick, and in this menu you have a lot of options to play with. In the settings you can mess around with the Pro mode, and this phone does have kind of super slow and a standard slow motion video. Like I said, it takes pictures really quick, and you can switch between the main sensor and the wide angle almost seamlessly. So very fast and no stutters when switching between camera sensors. And also have 10 times digital zoom, so whether you use that or not, it's up to you. I don't really recommend it. The digital zoom will have a lot of noise that will come with it, and like I said, it does have the ability to record video at 4K at 30 frames per second, but when you are recording 4K video, you don't have the ability to use the optical image stabilization. Instead, it will use the electronic image stabilization to stable your video. So now for image quality. So this phone takes some really good pictures for the price, and from what I've been experiencing under good lighting conditions, this phone performs very well. The focusing system on here is really good. It's better than I expected. It's better than the previous generation, and even the bokeh effect is nice. If I were to be kind of nitpicky, I would say that the colors are not as vibrant or as saturated as I would like it to be, but they're still pretty good, don't get me wrong. Like I said, under good lighting condition, this phone performs really well. It's just sometimes because they're not as vibrant as other Galaxy devices, they may seem a little bit washed, even though they're really not. The focusing system, like I said, is just what shocked me the most. It does a really good job. So these bokeh effects, these portrait shots will look out really well without the artificial use of a portrait mode, which is fantastic. Indoor photography with kind of harsh lighting condition, and when I say harsh, I mean artificial light, they're not as good as outdoor conditions, and that's obvious. And even when switching to the wide angle, you will see kind of a loss in quality even more. However, it does give you that wide field of view, which is fantastic. And also, like I said, overall though, as a package for outdoor and indoor conditions, it works really well. The dynamic range on here is really good. I wish that the sky is a little bit more bluer, but basically what I want to say is this: from picture taking, you can get some really solid shots of this phone if you want to, and you can even mess around and edit them later on with the editing software like Adobe Lightroom or any free editing or any free kind of photo editing app that you can use. But when moving on to kind of lower light conditions is when you'll see this phone struggle a little bit. So more noise will pop up. It will kind of struggle to focus as much, just because maybe it's because just it's low light. However, it does its best to kind of retain color, but the wide angle in low light conditions is just horrible. For example, this picture here, I even took it a couple of times. It still gave me the same result. It's not really that good. So low light, wide angle does not mix. It does have, however, good, I would say, night mode. So this picture was taken before the night mode, and after night mode, here's the result that you'll kind of get. And it does its best to kind of make the picture brighter, so give this artificial flash, while still retaining color. So this is another example. You see how dark this tree looks like, which by the way looks really good. The tree itself is amazing. And when you switch to kind of the night mode photography, you'll see that it does its best to kind of make the picture bright without losing any detail in the background. Similar scenario in this picture, looks really good. And what I noticed is I would rather use this mode than use the flash itself. Take an example this. So this is with night mode. It looks really good. There's detail. You can see kind of the background, even though it kind of looks almost over processed, but this is with the flash. The background is really dark. You can't see nothing. The kind of tree itself is just this bright thing that doesn't look as good, and the selfie camera actually gives you quite a lot of detail. That 32 megapixel selfie camera is really good and really fantastic. So that kind of summarized the image quality of this phone. Now to the video quality here. I actually shot a video, so I want you to take a look at it, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on the video after you watch it. Hey, what's up guys, TechTine here, and this is your quick video test of the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G. So one of the first things that I like to do when it comes to video testing is to look at the autofocus and how quick it is to focus, especially on kind of moving subjects like this flower. So I know it's a little bit difficult, but it seems like it's doing a decent job. So for example, if it would focus on my hand, very quick at focusing, which is something that I like. So this phone does record up to 4K at 30 frames per second, or if you want faster frames per second, you can go up to 1080p. And the footage that comes out of it seems to be very, very good. So this is definitely something that you could be using to record your YouTube videos, vlogs, and things like that. And you can quickly switch between the main sensor and angle sensor all in the camera. Now obviously you will be getting a little bit of a lesser quality video out of the wide angle. You can switch back to the main sensor if you want. All that while recording your video. So that's your video test. We're out. A couple of observations that I want to make on the video capability of this phone is that once again the focusing system on here is fantastic, and if you want to use this phone to kind of shoot YouTube videos or use it for social media purposes, I don't think you'll be disappointed. The image stabilization works really well. It does have this kind of steady shot mode, which I cannot recommend just because it's not as good of a quality as just the standard video mode. So keep your hand as steady as possible. You'll get some really fantastic results. And so here's my conclusion when it comes to this phone's camera system. Overall, it's a very well-rounded camera system that provides you with everything that you need to take some good pictures and good videos. This still is a mid-range device, so I want you to keep that in mind. It's not going to compete with the Galaxy S24 or the iPhone 15, even though a comparison between those phones and this phone is coming really soon just for fun. But yeah, it still is a very respectable camera system. And honestly, one of the best focusing systems that I've seen for this price point. Okay, so with that being said, I want to leave it to you guys. Tell me, do you agree with me? Do you disagree? If you have this phone, what do you think of its image quality? If you don't have this phone, what do you think of the video itself? Do you think that this is just a complete package, or the pictures are not up to par to you, or up to your standards per se? So let me know in the comments below, and I really appreciate everyone for watching. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next one. Very respectable camera and a very respectable upgrade. Thank you all for watching.